The following is a preview for the next Ultra Vegito chapter and may contain spoilers. Click off now if you'd rather wait. And eventually, on a suitably strange new planet, the portal would reopen, and Vegito's foot would then softly land in tow. And in a drastically better mood now, Vegito with his arms folded would just nonchalantly look around for any trace of Mule, knowing the score by now that it will be harder done than said as he lets out, Alright, you know I'm here, Destroyer. Your time has come, and Zeno knows I gave you plenty of it. Save me the hassle of finding you, and I may make your death quick. But as Vegito enjoys himself talking to thin air, from afar, the God Killer is kept in the sights of a very robotic looking scope. Zooming in quickly at the head of Vegito, as he continues to turn from side to side, completely oblivious that he is now in target. And suddenly, from the direction of the scope, what looks like a speeding missile is fired at insane speeds, shooting off down the landscape within nanoseconds, having reached Vegito in its sight before... Just as the strange object is in touching distance, Vegito finally reacts. Only for a humongous explosion like no other to then follow, altering the entire landscape of the planet instantly. And once the damage is done, the culprit is seen, as a mechanized standing robot is seen in the distance with an enormous and powerful looking sniper of some variety. And once zoomed in on its lifeless face, the machine would report,
Target eliminated. I got him, boss. Direct hit. The rest of you can now stand down and await orders.
And just like that, suddenly from all corners of the smoke and debris of the explosion, 5 other mysterious figures appear.
Good work, boss.
As once revealed, 5 more completely armored and battle-clad robots are seen, each green in color, but all slightly different from one another. No! Don't stand down! But finally, from the confines of what seems like an isolated box, God of Destruction Mule then finally makes his appearance, looking panicked in the face as he continues, That's not nearly enough! Direct hit or not, you all keep firing until there isn't a trace of him left! Go! Go now!
You heard him, boys. Keep firing!
On command, all 6 would then do as Lord Mule commanded, blasting off, non-stop, a mixture of missiles and high-powered energy beams right back into the direction of where Vegito was. And as expected, an even greater explosion is seen, one which begins shaking and damaging the very fabric of the planet. The commander, meanwhile, back in the distance with his giant sniper, would continue delegating,
Keep going, boys. I don't want to see anyone stop until we run out of ammo. What Lord Mule says, goes!
As he then, just the same as the rest of his men, continues his barrage in an attempt to disintegrate the God Killer. No! I think it's time you stop firing those pea shooters. Can you not see the smoke it's creating? Think of the effect on global warming for once.
What?
But in classic style, and probably to be expected by now, a familiar god-killing voice is then heard right behind the commander.
Wait, who was that? Lord Mule? Was that you?
Confusing the simple-minded robot as he waits for clarification until... Suddenly, right through the middle of his skull, an energy blade slices right through. Sorry, but it looks like your call got cut off. Revealing Vegito with his energy sword in hand, chopping the commander in half through his body, as mechanical oil and blood splatters everywhere. Really, Mule? This is the best you could do? As both sides of the robot then explode on the dark and sinister face of Vegito, and a grin builds upon his first cold kill of the day.
What? Commander!
And one by one, as realization ripples through the rest of the ranks of their leader's brutal death, the 5 robots stand petrified in fear. Don't worry, kids. You'll be joining your papa soon. As a devious stare then accompanies the God King.
What?
And suddenly, one by one, each of the mechs would then become confronted by a god of destruction. The first by Beerus, the second by Halise, the third by Belmod, fourth by Liquor, and the fifth, finally by Rumshi. Each with their palms stretched out forward until... Hakai! With the lifeless faces of their former destroyers, each would yell the chant of destruction straight at their robotic victim, instantly erasing the 5 mechs from existence as their dust-like bodies now disappear into the atmosphere in front of Vegito's divine apparition. No! And from wherever Mule is hidden, watching on, he would explode in fury, his eyes barely able to conceive what they had just seen as he continues, My Elite 6! I spent centuries building those! How dare you, God Killer! And as this fury builds, suddenly, the very floor and surface of the planet Vegito is standing on would begin rumbling and crumbling right before the eyes of the God Killer, as if the planet itself was mourning the loss of the 6 robotic victims. But as Vegito would think of the god, in a faraway universe, Mule would finally be seen once more. His head ducked down in the darkness as he would say ominously, He is finally coming. I can sense it in my blood. My Grim Reaper. Are you 3 ready? Campari. Yes. Awamo. Yes. And you. As shockingly, the final member of Mule's entourage is unbelievably revealed to be Zeno's god himself. 1 destroyer, 2 angels, and one of the strongest warriors in the multiverse, enough to guard the king of all, now awaits the famed God Killer. And if you want more, the next video is already up live on my Patreon right now for over 4,400 plus incredible patrons who are getting early access episodes for life, as well as actively seeing hidden, Ultra Vegito episodes. And if you want to too, head to my Patreon to see the full next video, as it is about to get crazy and is yet another very long video. So join now and talk to me, links are in the description and pinned comment.